You're looking at the Adirondack Store in Lake Placid, New York. Welcome. I'm Christopher English, owner of the Adirondack Store. We've been around since 1955. This is our 70th year in business. And I'm very fortunate to have taken over this ship 8 years ago and taking it into the future. This is my friend, John Peacock, visiting today. And thank you, by the way, for coming up and
of course
taking the trip.
Thank you. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
So John Peacock is a representative of Rustic Furniture his entire career, pretty much. And you actually had your own company in the Carolinas back in the day. What was that again?
The Killer Creek Company, Silva, North Carolina,
Silva.
in the mountains, 45 minutes west of Asheville. Main Street store, historic. It was great area. Loved it.
I could see an Adirondack store in Asheville.
We actually didn't call it Adirondack. It was called Smoky Mountain Style because the Smoky Mountains were there. We designed furniture from 200-year-old homes and barns,
right?
And we gave you a little card that told you where this furniture came from or where the wood came from. So this table came from the English house up in the hills of Silva, 200 years old, owned by you, the English family. And different, unique, all using local woods as well. Very southern. So Adirondack furniture's in the north. This Smoky Mountain style was a southern style of furniture making.
And since then, of course, you've been representing Adirondack furniture here, there, and everywhere. And visiting me for how long have we known each other? About 8 years.
We got a history, good rustic furniture history.
Yeah, exactly. And so what do you think of where we're going these days and how we've grown and what sets us a little bit apart? We're definitely not Smoky Mountain.
No, your store is really as far as I'm concerned, ground zero for rustic furniture in the Adirondacks. There's no other store like it, and you've done a great job. And I've seen you grow from this store to your Tupper Lake store and to your New Canaan store, one of a kind as well. So what you have, nobody else has. It's different. It's unique. It hits all sorts of different demographics, whether it's furniture, whether it's fabrics, your interior design studio. Nobody has anything close to it.
Right.
So you've really created a great niche in the area, but in town of Lake Placid, but also in the Adirondacks as a whole.
Right. Thank you. And as I travel around the country, because I do antique shows as well, there's such a desire for rustic furniture and Adirondack furniture all over the country.
Yeah.
When we do shows in Texas, as you know, and I enjoy going down there. But you probably get similar requests when you're talking to people around the country. Do you see the same vibe? Where
for antiques?
Yeah.
Yeah. They are starting to come back. Before, they rode the wave, they were down, but now they're really starting to come back. And it's not the cheap antiques, it's the nice antiques with depth. Good quality, stories behind it if possible, but one of a kind that you're not going to find, that, and especially is not made in China.
Exactly.
So you guys really have done a great job on that, I think.
Right.
And I don't see that in my travels anywhere else either.
So when we purchased the Adirondack store back in 2016, there was a term in the area, I don't know if you've heard this, but it was called China-rondack because so many retail businesses were starting to sell all this resin bearers and all this stuff from China. And, this store has a lot of history.
Yep.
And I want to make sure that, it's my honor to bring this to the next generation and to, do the right thing. So I decided, I need to really pull this back because the real purpose of the Adirondack store initially was selling furniture made in this region and other items made in this region and in Canada and New England in general. But it never had that vibe of, everything coming from other nations. And of course, that's hard to avoid these days, as you know.
Oh, big time.
And but I did pull that back a lot. And I was not a fan of resin, so that all went away fast.
The resin bears from Adirondack, thankfully can't say it, but to each their own. They have a demographic and a customer base that is perfectly happy with that, all for it.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
Problems at all.
Oh, it's cute. I like it.
Everybody's got their own taste, and
Absolutely.
This store, I think, is different
Right.
from that. Everything's made here.
Yep.
It's just one of a kind.
Yeah.
Really one of a kind.
Right.
You've done a great job.
And by the way, I'm not saying anything bad about it, because honestly, as you said, every store has its niche.
Yep.
And, some of that stuff is really cute, but it's just not where I want to take this company
Absolutely.
in the future.
Yep.
I'm going to take it in a different direction. And now we're in this interesting political environment where it's become kind of popular at the moment. And so but I do think it's a good basis to work with. And I think I made all the right decisions in that department.
I agree.
And by mixing antique pieces in with modern pieces, like when I'm designing and decorating a great camp, it's nice to be sitting in a really comfortable new sofa that you might be falling asleep in, where something about 60 years old might not be quite as comfortable.
I think that's a great talking point in the sense that not only you, but your retail customers, how about interior designers?
Right.
Developers,
Yes.
your own design department. It's not the same thing that everybody else is going to offer.
Right.
In that you can sprinkle in some antiques.
Yes.
Old school antiques. You can sprinkle in some rustic furniture among the new upholstered goods that are more comfortable and up to date in terms of safety, but also comfort.
Absolutely. And I love, especially an older lake house or a great camp, old pieces really bring the history into the properties. And yet new pieces make them very functional. Bedding, dining sets, whatever. You can really mix it up, but design, as you know, is an education process, and you really have to educate people. And once they see it and they really learn about it,
Yep.
they get it.
Yep.
And maybe not all the time, but I'm sure you've
That's the
experienced
point.
that.
Yeah. It's all good. Everybody has their own style.
Yeah.
And I think the neat thing is you have pieces for each individual style, still within the rustic furniture genre.
Right.
Which is cool.
And I guess the thing that does set us apart is because I have a 40-year history in buying antiques, I really have that eye for it.
Yeah.
And so we really have no competition when it comes to that. So that's really something that, because the store is 70 years old, I like people walking in the door and thinking that, it looks like it's all been here 70 years. But it changes
Absolutely.
constantly. And if you're selling all brand new products, you sell a table immediately, or you're just ordering them, the decor doesn't change too much, and especially the new products, whether it's dishes or placemats, you're constantly reordering.
Yep.
But with antiques, once it's gone, it's gone. And likely you won't have that same exact piece ever again.
I like how you also put in the local artisan pieces in here. Barney
really?
Bellinger's are all over here, and it's just
I love Barney Bellinger's
the best.
work.
The best.
And we're definitely going to have him on a podcast.
You should.
Definitely. He's a talented man.
Great guy, great furniture, great art,
Yes.
one of a kind too.
He's a great example to bring up, actually. He's my favorite.
Good. Robert Stump, Paul
Yes.
Licata, fantastic.
There's a bunch of them.
Really nice jobs, and I'm glad you have them in here.
Yeah. And, our town is representative. We have local artisans as well. And the Lake Placid, if you haven't been here before, is really an amazing place. And it's a good place to visit. When we come back after the break, we're going to talk about the creation of the Adirondack Great Camps.
The Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York are said to be one of the oldest mountain chains in the world. The culture of the Adirondacks is a lifestyle in itself. From the great camps built 125 years ago by the Industrial Revolution wealth to the Adirondack chairs that are sold all over the United States. Since 1955, the Adirondack Store in Lake Placid has been the premier location for rustic elegance and timeless design. Ownership has recently expanded the brand to 2 other properties in New Canaan, Connecticut and Tupper Lake, New York. And its owners have a vision to take the brand to other regions of the United States, from Dallas, Austin, Texas, to Nashville, Tennessee, to Park City, Utah. Our stores represent a rustic resource of America. We have celebrated the spirit of the Great Northwoods with the finest gifts, home accessories, and furniture in the elegant Adirondack style. Our advertising strategy that we have initiated represents a good example of our creativity. We feature antiques to tabletops, wedding registry, fine bedding, furniture, pets and interior design studio, and for more information, visit our online store at www.adirondackstore.com.
I'm Christopher from the Adirondack Store. Welcome to our design studio. Come on inside with me. The Adirondack Store has a full-service design studio. We offer upholstery for furniture, we offer window treatments, we offer doing bed linens, carpeting, we cover it all. Whether you own an Airbnb, a small condo, a large estate on a lake, or a major hotel, we can be a full-service operation where we do all of your furniture and all of your needs. When you're ready to remodel your property, go to adirondackstore.com. Welcome back. This is John Peacock, myself, Christopher English. We're back again to talk more about the Adirondacks and the great camps and the fine furniture we fill them with. Anyways, as we were discussing earlier, the park was created by Teddy Roosevelt, 1892, and the Industrial Revolution was moving right along, and that's really the railroads is what started bringing the rich and the famous up here. And the Carnegies, the Rockefellers. A lot of people don't realize these great camps were great camps. And they were coming from everywhere. Ohio, Cleveland, New York City, Pittsburgh. But I don't know how many of the great camps you've been in. Have you been in a lot of the camps?
I have, but I could always be in more.
Yeah, right.
They're just amazing. They're one of a kind again, found nowhere else, and they're old, which I love.
Yeah.
A lot of history there.
Exactly. And it's amazing. We've had some incredible architects in this region from the 20s through even into the 60s, 70s. Yep. And even today, there's people building some amazing properties. But luckily, the land up here, a lot of it's pretty protected, so it's not overdeveloped. So it's unspoiled to a degree. But I wanted to talk more about rustic furniture and kind of what created that industry. And you know it probably better than anybody because you've been doing it all over the country.
There's a lot more out there than me, a lot more, but your kind.
And what do you see being made today that excites you?
Look, there's a lot out there. I love what the artisans are doing. Again, Barney Bellingers, Paul Licata's, Robert Stump. But there's also, I think, wonderful manufacturers that have done a great job.
Yeah.
La Lune Collection.
They're wonderful.
Mario does a great job out of that. Yeah. And it's willow, birch, cedar, sustainable, all harvested 100 miles away from the factory with eco-friendly finishes.
Exactly.
And to boot, they're nice people.
Oh, yeah.
Really wonderful
people. And we
people.
represented all those people in the past.
Yes.
And and honestly, it's what they're manufacturing today. They based it on what was being made in the Adirondacks 100 years ago. And it's interesting, if you think about the creation of Adirondack furniture, it was really, it was just camp caretakers living on the properties, making furniture for their clients. They built these great camps, and then they needed to furnish them, and often the furniture was made on site. And so often the antiques that we get are pieces that, Ernest Stowe, great cabinet maker on Upper Saranac Lake, turn of the century, birch bark. I mean, his pieces are now mostly in museums, but there's certainly, I've placed a lot in private homes. Not exactly inexpensive.
But you can't find them anywhere else.
You can't find them anywhere else.
I think a neat story I always found, I loved, was Reverend Ben Davis. And he was from Burnsville, North Carolina, just
Yes.
outside of Asheville. And he would actually go around as a preacher. As a preacher man going around, he'd stay with you and everyone else. And as a thank you, he would actually build furniture for you. And it looked kind of like Adirondack furniture, but he had these little chips that he'd put throughout, tiny chips that he put throughout his entire design.
Yes.
One of a kind again, really great and hard to find.
Hard to find. I've definitely owned pieces of his in the past, and the Adirondack Experience in Blue Mountain Lake, the Blue Mountain Museum, has a really nice collection of his work.
Actually, they do a great job all around, literally from telling the story of how it started. Here, Rustic Furniture started, but also how it grew and just came out to be where it is today. I think also Ralph Kylo really took it, and it blossomed with his books.
Yep.
Gosh, he's had more than a dozen books. He's just really done a great job, not only for Rustic Furniture, educating people. He had a store out in Lake George, and he just got around. He had in magazines. He knew his stuff too.
He really made an impact.
Big impact.
When it comes to Adirondack furniture. And he brought in artisans like Barney Bellinger, put him in his books, went on tour, gave talks out west. And it's funny, when I started doing the Adirondack Antique Show at the Blue Mountain Museum years ago, we're going back a long time, people would fly in from all over the nation because you could not find Adirondack furniture anywhere out west or down south. They had to come here to buy it. And of course, the internet's changed everything.
Yes.
And eBay was the first to change it.
First dibs.
First dibs now, yeah, exactly. And so, and actually, even online nowadays, it's hard to find. But it's a lot easier than it was.
AdirondackStore.com.
There you go.
Thank you. and I think that show, God, is that show one of the great ones. In the first couple of weeks of September, I can't remember which date it is, but
it fluctuates.
If anybody,
after Labor Day.
Anybody wants to get involved, they have the nice artisans all there
The Rustic Fair.
at the Rustic Fair, at the Adirondack Experience.
Yep.
And then it's grown down the street.
Yes.
And that's where you have the characters that bring in the wonderful things too as well.
Right.
It's just so neat to see. And if you're a fan of rustic furniture, rustic design, this is I think a must-see and to experience.
It brings a lot of people from other areas, and they come into town, they shop us here in Lake Placid, they always hit our Tupper Lake store, and they're always buying, and then they go down to the shows, and it's a great fall experience because they hit their favorite stores and their favorite shows, and they always go home with a car full.
From the Adirondacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Cody, Wyoming has a design show out there as well, and all Western rustic furniture. So that's another region that has yet to be explored, but they do a great job out there, especially with the Thomas Molesworth design.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
hard to get.
Yeah, but it's just primo.
I haven't had a lot of that in our store. I've had a few pieces from time to time. There is a great camp in this area that is loaded with it.
Really?
Yeah, and they're collectors, and it's I mean, the reason I don't have a lot of it is I like to have a price point where all customers can afford the product. If I bought 2 Molesworth vintage chairs, put them in my showroom, they would literally be like $20,000 a piece. And so I limit that price point.
I'll take 4.
There you go.
It's great. I mean, it's really different, but it's exactly what you'd expect from rustic furniture.
Absolutely.
Which I like.
Yeah, and variety is the spice of life.
It is.
Yeah, we represent variety.
Yep.
And wherever you go throughout the store, whether you want, pine furniture from the 50s or cedar, or you're getting into hickory from the 30s and 20s. It is really nice to have variety.
And the neat thing I like about this is you talked about the hickory furniture. Old Faithful Inn has hickory furniture in there that is over 100 years old. So the chairs and the tables have been sat, used, and abused as a national park piece, wood, and they're the same original pieces that are there. So they've been brought back to the factory every now and then, tightened up, recaned, whatever. But
I've heard of the inn. Exactly where is it located again?
Old Faithful, at the Old Faithful Inn.
Yeah.
In the dining room.
Okay.
And that's what really set off hickory in all of the great lodges across the country.
That's interesting.
Basically.
Right.
It's really neat.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it lasts forever.
Right.
So it can go indoors. Crater Lake Lodge, they have hickory rockers outside.
Right.
As well as, well, you name it. It's at pretty much every great lodge around America.
Right.
Just because it's cost effective, it'll last forever too, and it looks great. And it also is an embellishment of those lodges too.
Right. One of the nice things that the Adirondack Store does, I enjoy traveling the country in the off season, doing antique shows, Nashville, Tennessee, Round Top, Texas, a variety of places, bringing Adirondack gear, and it's appreciated, and I'm also buying it, of course. I empty trucks and I fill trucks, but it exposes us to new areas that, I mean, the hill country in Texas, they love exactly the Adirondack look. They love taxidermy, they love old hickory, they love all these, all the rustic furniture out there. It works in their homes. And I don't know if you've ever had much experience in Texas selling furniture or buying furniture.
I did. I lived in Texas for a couple of years, as well as North Carolina.
Right.
Adirondack Furniture was down there,
Yeah.
and we were looking to piggyback that as well with our own.
Right.
Park City, huge
I love
Rustic.
Park City.
It's great area. Them and Denver, Cody, Wyoming. It's just never ending. And California, there's so much to talk about out there too.
Big time. Folks, when we come back after the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about rustic furniture and how it was made. I'm Christopher English from the Adirondack Store. Welcome. I want to show you our new collection. We're going to start carrying clothing in all of our stores, exclusively working with Johnson Woolen Mills out of the Green Mountain State, out of Johnson, Vermont. They've been in business since 1842. They carry flannel shirts, jackets, hoodies, men's, women's, and children's. We will have it in all of our stores in Lake Placid, New York, Tupper Lake, New York, and soon to be in New Canaan. The bedding is fabulous. It's like the blankets are great. We're gonna have a huge selection. Visit us at adirondackstore.com for more images and information. Welcome back to the Adirondack Store. I'm Christopher English. This is my friend John Peacock. We're going to talk a little bit further about Great Camps and rustic furniture and how it's made and where it comes from.
I love this. This is different because it was made of twigs and actual trees, birch bark, bark off as well. And I guess that you might as well start with why it was made at the Great Camps. Form, function, nobody cared about design.
Right.
Just get these places, furnished.
Well, actually, a good way to start talking about this is the word Adirondack.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Tell me.
It means bark eater.
I learned something today. Really?
Yeah. And so the word Adirondack, I mean, here we are talking about bark, and of course, bark is something that you find on some fabulous rustic furniture back in the day that was made up in the Great Camps and in the region. But it's interesting. I had a client come in the other day and ask me, it's like, so what's rustic furniture made of? And it kind of was perplexing because it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It basically was whatever was available to the people making the furniture, and they needed to make furniture quick for whatever property they were working on. And so what's your thoughts?
It wasn't easy. Back then, nothing was easy.
Right.
And what I love is these poor guys went out in the winter and they cut down trees to use for product, but they cut them down and took the roots, and they dug all the roots out of the ground as well in the winter, because the sap is not running. So what that does, that holds the bark onto the tree.
Yes.
They take it, they just sand it down on the bottom so it sits level. They put a tabletop on there, which I've seen around your store. Root trees,
Yes.
or root tables are famous among artisans. It's hard to make on a manufactured basis too.
Right.
So it's not easy to find, but you do have a couple of good ones here. Yellow birch is predominantly what they've used as well, and looks beautiful.
It's one of my favorites.
I know.
I love yellow birch.
I know. Yeah, it's nice. The hickory, not found particularly up here, but it is something that was used. Mostly it was out in Tennessee and Indiana. Just because it grows up. It's about 3 to 5 years is where it starts to be usable for furniture. And hickory is the most dense and durable wood out there. So it's perfect
in North
for
America.
furniture.
Yeah.
Yep. And you can take that with the bark on.
Right.
You could sand the bark down a little. You can take it with the bark off as well. And so you've got different looks as that started in someone's garage, gas stations, homes, and it became a big manufacturing business with, 2 handfuls of manufacturers making Indiana hickory, including prison workers.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
So that was a big thing back in the day. Now there's a couple of manufacturers left.
Yep.
And I think, Fireside Lodge is really doing a great job now.
Oh, we
really
represent their
good.
pieces.
Oh,
yeah.
really do a great
we sell
job.
a lot of their pieces.
Really nice, really good finishes.
Yes.
Their fabric is like no one else has in the industry too.
Absolutely.
So that's a neat thing. They've got the wooded river bedding line, which is very different.
Yeah.
But
The
they've really
fabrics
come
actually
along.
have a bit of a Navajo look to a lot of them.
Yeah.
As you can see, I love period Navajo rugs.
Yep.
We have a great assortment in the store, but I love those fabrics. I mean, it makes the whole piece of furniture.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I think the neat thing about what you just said is these go great in homes, but I've seen a lot of hotels use them. So we've got some hickory painted out in the Mirror Lake Inn with the Wybrick family.
Right. Yep.
We've got some Laloon over at Whiteface
Yep.
Lodge, which is just a regular stain, so clear.
Yep.
And Urban Cowboy
We
Lodge.
finished all that. At
Yep.
the Whiteface. Yeah.
And more to come, I hope.
It's a nice institution.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's see, we did the Urban Cowboy in Big Indian, New York. They pushed rustic design. And I guess if anybody wants to go look and get enmeshed in rustic design, Whiteface Lodge, Mirror Lake Inn, Urban Cowboy in Big Indian is just wild.
We sold them actually a lot of Adirondack chairs.
Yep.
Which is, of course, iconic.
It's great.
And,
they're there. They've painted them. Shandaken Inn, 10 minutes down the road. It's right on the Esopus River, which is famous for fly fishing. The Shandaken's been around for 100 years, over 100 years.
Right.
And that was the Rip Van Winkle Golf Course.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Which,
Yes.
if you believe the mythology, Rip Van Winkle napped for a day and forever in those woods back there. So the Shandaken's really different. Urban Cowboy's really different. Lyons Porter has done a great job. He's opened up Nashville and Denver. So if you really want to just go and see what rustic furniture is, come here at the Adirondack Store, but also you want to go stay somewhere, those places are wonderful.
For the experience.
The Chapin Estates out in Bethel, New York, really nice. The Chatwell Lodge, I think that, and I could be wrong, was a Relay and Chateau owned by Dream Hotels. It's owned, the Chapin Estates and Chatwell Lodge is owned by a 3-time rodeo champion.
Right.
A lot of horse activities there, but it's one of a kind. And it's right next to Bethel Woods concerts as well.
Another wonderful property up here that has a lot of original Adirondack pieces.
I
is
know
the
where you're
Point.
going. Yeah, yeah. The Point
And
is.
the Point is a
Yeah.
very exclusive Brilliant chateau.
We can't forget the Lake Placid Lodge too.
Absolutely.
I mean that and the Point were the crown jewels of the Adirondack.
The Point was, you remember, the former Rockefeller estate. Their great camp turned into an inn.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. And
Yeah.
we've done a lot of work with them, you know, helping with interior design when they redid it, and they've done a crackerjack job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think we've covered some pretty cool things today.
Let's go visit them.
And let's do it.
Okay, that's a deal. I got all day.
We'll wait till 5 o'clock when we can get a drink.
Well, we need to work our way up to that.
We will. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. We covered a lot of topics today about rustic furniture, the great camps, where it was made. We have a lot we're going to be covering in the future. We're going to be introducing you to some guides, some historians in the Adirondacks. It's going to be truly Adirondack storytelling, and I'm really looking forward to our future podcasts. For more information, go to adirondackstore.com, and we'll see you next time. Hey, I'm Christopher English from the Adirondack Store. I'm an Adirondack antique expert. I've been selling antiques and buying antiques for 40 years. I'd like to see what you have. If you have something that means something to you, special to you, or you're just curious of the value, feel free to send me an email with an image and any information you have on it and why it means something to you, and send it to christopher@adkstore.com. I'll get back to you, and I'll be glad to give you a free appraisal.